This is a Lego brick. Alone, not very special. But I'm a stop motion animator, so in this video I'm using Lego bricks to animate some really oddly satisfying Lego animations. And this time I'm doing everything from making bricks bounce to animating Lego bricks melting. So, let's begin animating. Alright, I'll be starting off with making some bricks bounce around. Normally, a brick will just fall and drop to the ground, but I want to animate it to look something like a rubber ball bouncing around. So I'll incorporate some stretching and squashing to give the animation some life and that rubbery look. I made a bunch of different animations, beginning with one where I just drop the brick and it bounces up and down. Notice how I switch the brick with a longer brick when it's moving to give it the illusion of speed. Then I did one where I throw it against the edge of the screen to make it bounce around just like a DVD logo, but a lot faster. Then I finally built this Lego basketball hoop so that I could make a Lego trick shot animation. I wanted to bounce it at the ground and then fling it into the hoop, so I spent some time animating that and I think I did a really good job. Moving on. I remember playing with these things called Slinkies when I was a kid. You know, those spring-like toys you could send down the stairs and it would look really satisfying? Well, I wanna try to recreate that with Lego animation. So to do this, I'll use a technique from my last video where I stretch the brick like this. And if I then release it, I can make it look like a Lego Slinky. I use sticky tack to hold the bendy bricks together, or else the Lego Slinky would just fall apart. And sometimes I use these transparent bricks as support to hold it up. After about an hour of animating, I finished it, and here it is. Next up, I wanted to make an animation where I write with a brick-built Lego pencil. I think that could look satisfying, so I built a Lego version of those stereotypical yellow pencils you see everywhere. I got some of these yellow 1x1 cylinder bricks and stacked them together. And I then got this black bar piece for the tip. And those pens usually have an eraser at the end for easy use and access. So I'll add that to the Lego pencil as well. I wanted to get my hands on one of those yellow pencils to compare with the Lego one. So I ordered one. And when it arrived, I realized I should have read the product details a little more closely, because this monstrosity is what arrived. Luckily I got a pencil in the right size to compare with the Lego one. The Lego pencil looks just like the real pencil, which is perfect. Now, the thing with pencils is that when using one, it tends to wear down over time. So, I wanted to replicate that with the Lego pencil by making it shorter when writing with it, by removing pieces from it. Then, I could pull on it and stretch it back to its original length, allowing me to continue using it. I did a couple test animations before I began working on the main animation, where I will draw a smiley with the Lego pencil, and then erase it after. And here I'll also include the dirt that occurs during the erasing process of the drawing, just like real erasers work. And now, here's the finished animation. Perfect! You guys really like the cutting animations from my last video, so I'll be cutting even more Lego stuff in this video. Obviously not actually cutting Lego, but making Lego cutting animations. I've got my trusted butter knife ready. Now, I just need to know what I'll cut with it. How about Lego butter? I got a bunch of butter colored bricks and built this block representing butter and animated the knife cutting it. Oh, and I also dragged the knife over the butter so that I could spread it on this Lego toast. I wouldn't eat it, unless you wanted to break the teeth. The block of yellow bricks could also be a block of cheese, so I transformed it into that by adding some holes to it with these 1x1 Technic bricks with holes in them. After that, I could slice some cheese with this Norwegian cheese slicer. To put on the toast as well, of course. And when it comes to food and cooking, there's a lot of cutting involved, so I cut a bunch more Lego food, like this tiny Lego cake. The worst Lego character you have ever seen, as I was lacking the necessary bricks to make it look nice. And a Lego sausage. Wait, no, not that one. This one. I then cut this Lego car because it was too long. And following that, I cut this 2x6 brick into several smaller pieces. I've cut a single minifigure before, so how about I cut 3 at the same time? And why stop there? I cut 10 minifigures. Ooh, that was really satisfying. Now that I've cut a bunch of stuff, it's time to move on to infinite Lego building. Everyone loves building with Lego, but what if instead of just building a Lego set and setting it aside to never be touched again, the building never ended? I got the idea to make an infinite Lego building animation. I got some 2x2 Lego bricks, and my plan is to build Lego towers with them forever. I animated my hands building this tower of bricks before the whole tower then sinks into this hole in the ground. Where do the bricks go? I don't know. That's not important, as after they drop into the ground, you have to begin from scratch again, turning it into a looping animation where the Lego building never ends. I'm sure the YouTube Shorts and TikTok viewers will love this one. Lego has this really impressive factory that assembles minifigures, so now even more infinite Lego building. I want to make a Lego Minifigure Factory that never stops assembling minifigures. I'll take some inspiration from Lego's own factory and incorporate it into my Lego version, but I'll also keep it very simple so that it's easy for me to animate. I built the base of the Minifigure Factory. I then got these hinge pieces that will work as robotic arms, placing the minifigure parts onto the conveyor belt. I want the assembling to begin here, where it'll place the legs, then torso, and finally head. And I also have this thing here that will add a print to the minifigure heads. The machine will place the minifigure parts onto these minifigure display stands that come with every minifigure mystery bag. I have like hundreds of these, and once the minifigure is finished, it'll be sent off. And as a nice touch, I added this minifigure blueprint tile for extra details. Now that the machine build is done, I can begin animating it assembled minifigures. So I started animating, and for the first attempt I accidentally placed the legs backwards, so I had to start over again. But the second attempt went nicely, and here it is. Just let it run for a while and we'll end up with a massive army of Lego minifigures. I also built this rotating Lego minifigure maker that pushes the minifigures away as soon as they're built. Just a nice little bonus animation for you guys. Speaking of minifigures, most of you found the stretch animations from part 1 really satisfying, especially the one where I stretch a minifigure to make it taller. So this time I decided to stretch a minifigure sideways. I started by first making it taller by adding bricks between the legs and the torso, and once I reached the perfect height, I then began stretching it to the side. Here's how I managed to keep the arms on the side. I got these 1x1 bricks with holes in them and then put some sticky tack in them to hold the arms in place, or else they would just fall out. Oh, he wide. I then finished the animation. Enjoy. I want to make some smooth animations, and I figured doing waves would be satisfying, as I've seen some nice Lego wave videos on YouTube, but they're always made with Technic bricks, which I'm scared of touching, and they're not animated. So I'm gonna animate some Lego waves. If I take some bricks, I can build a wave like this, and to animate the wave, I'll just move the bricks to the side. So I did just that, but the first try didn't look satisfying at all. It just looks like a bunch of bricks moving from left to right. Not getting that wave vibe here at all. Luckily I had used green bricks, so I could just green screen real waves on top of them to fix it. Just kidding. To actually fix this, I tried animating the wave within this base plate and had a straight cut visible at each end of the wave. And it actually worked. It looks way more satisfying, as you can clearly see the up and down motion of the wave on the sides, instead of just some bricks moving to the right. Melting stuff looks kinda satisfying, so I tried melting Lego bricks in real life. First, by boiling them in water. But that only bent it a little. So I tried taking a lighter and held it next to this old broken Lego minifigure. Do not try this at home, by the way. But the result ended up with the minifigure burning and not melting, obviously. So I'll have to animate it instead. No problem, that's what this video is all about anyway. Now, I'm not gonna be able to replicate that jelly look, as I'm using these 1x1 studs to make the melting animation. But it'll still look like it's melting, hopefully. To melt the bricks, I built this device. I'll call it the Brick Meltinator. Yeah, I stole that idea from Phineas and Ferb. So first, I began by melting this Lego brick just to see how the melting animation would look like. Yeah, that was really nice. I then moved on to melting this Lego minifigure. It took a really long time, as I had to move a bunch of these tiny 1x1 studs slide down the figure. And now, here's the result. I really liked the result of the round tiles stripped down, so I then melted this tower of bricks just to be able to animate even more of those melting drips. That was really satisfying. One thing I really find satisfying is stop motion build videos of Lego. So now I'll quickly make a satisfying build animation of the YouTube logo in Lego. First, I obviously had to build the logo, and since I'm using Lego bricks, it'll look very blocky, but that's okay, it gives it that Lego charm. I then animated it by dismantling it piece by piece, while also taking pictures between each removed piece. I did that until every piece was removed, and if I now play the stop motion animation in reverse, we get this. Alright, that was kinda satisfying, and a nice reminder for you to subscribe to the channel if you like this video. And if you wanna see more satisfying Lego animations, then click here. Thanks a lot to my supporters, become a member, and see you next time.